Floor is open, Steve. Me and you, dialogue. This is like, what was my man's name? Roy Firestone? They
Yeah.
do the in-depth.
Yeah, we do that, yeah. We just say, always made him cry.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you're not going to get me to cry tonight, but maybe some other day.
Well, it's a funny game, man. Coming off what you came off and play the way you did tonight. Just kind of, what was the key tonight?
I wanted to see us respond, obviously disappointed in our effort the other night. Our inability to make shots consistently has been problematic. You want it back? Okay. Has been problematic, and tonight we shoot 63% in the second half. We looked like a really good team, didn't we? We've changed some offensive actions. We're trying to get Chance to be more of an initiator. He ends up with 22 points and 5 rebounds and 6 assists on only 1 turnover. He got to the free throw line 13 times. Again, I'm just proud that our guys responded against a quality opponent. High Point's got a good program, and they come in here undefeated, and we're averaging 103 a night. I thought we put together a good 40 minutes against them.
Speaking of response, just on Chance playing 2 minutes in the first half.
Yeah, the fouls.
You're responding to that, and when you came back out, kind of was that?
Yeah, it's just all part of the growth process for him, really, all of these guys. And that's why we needed desperately to have something positive happen, because we against a quality opponent. It's the first time we've been able to do that against a team that will be competing at the top of their league this year. So I was just proud of seeing their response. I've been very, very honest with them the last few days, and they obviously took it to heart. I thought we had a number of guys play really well, especially in the second half when we ended up winning that half by 20.
How encouraging was it to see Ahmad Robinson just make it from 3? I mean, obviously been struggling from 3, but how encouraging was that?
Yeah, it's very encouraging. We go 4 for 13. The good thing is you can tell we didn't shoot as many. We need to be a little more decisive in the ones we take. We've always been good at a couple of things here in our time, and it's something that I really believe in because ultimately we play in a possessions game. We do a pretty good job off our offensive glass. We don't usually turn it over. This team is turning it over too much. Today, 11 is better. It's a better sign, and most of those were unforced. And then we usually win that free throw line, and tonight we did win it by 5 points. We've got a number of keys to victory that we go through. There's 8 categories, and we won 7 of them tonight. And if we do that on a regular basis, we have a chance to be a respectable team.
What was the difference maybe in the quality of shots from the first half compared to the second half?
I think the dribble penetration, I think we were able to get the ball in the paint. We were reversing the ball. In our first few games, including the exhibitions, I think we were trying to do too much on the first side of the floor. We weren't making the defense rotate, and that's when defenses break down. It's when we break down, when you force us into rotations. And we weren't making our opponent do that at the rate that you need to in order to try to get the ball in the paint. So we made it a concerted effort to try to just drive it in the middle of the zone, or the middle of the zone of the floor, the middle third. And we had Chance do it. I thought Jacob was able to get in there. Even our bigs were able to get some off these rolls actions, and really that's where we need to have our identity.
When you, toward the end there, when you're trying to put it away, you're still attacking. There weren't a lot of times, in the past, there's been some times where you kind of get apprehended a little bit.
Yeah, I think it was so obvious. I mean, I'm over there thinking, time score. But when you got Jacob Meyer in the middle of the floor, Chance, I want them to go and try to see what they can get, and they both got it right at point-blank range. And then at the end, it was nice to see the ball go in the basket from the free throw line as well. It's an area that we've got to vastly improve. To your point, Ahmad with 4 big threes, and I thought they were all right when we needed them. There weren't any throwaway threes at the end. At the end, we were getting at the basket and making free throws. I thought all 4 of Ahmad's threes were big. I thought we did a good job also of just knowing where their shooters were. They're a group that really shoots the 3 well. Today, 4 for 23, and I think a lot of that was us having an understanding, a better awareness of where their shooting was coming from.
With Chiron, he has great extension whenever he's down in the paint too. And in fact, this comes from experience from years past. But what is it going to take maybe for him to really take over into that full potential you guys see him?
Yeah, he's just got to keep working. Kai's a great kid, and he works hard. He's always been a role player. And we need him to star in his role here. There's more opportunity for him than he's maybe had in the past. And he just needs to attack that. But today, he had very, very solid minutes on the floor. I thought he gave us physicality at the rim, and he's plus 14 in his time on the court. So productive night for Kai, as well as all of our front court. I thought Daniel did a good job when he doesn't, go out there and try to show everybody he can dribble. Steve, when next time you see him, would you acknowledge the fact that you appreciate his ability to dribble? He doesn't have to show you anymore.
You mentioned also a key part of these early season games is finding a leader or a group of leaders. Any steps towards that direction?
I don't know. I think, I think people realize our volume guys, the guys that are going to be in the most impactful as it relates to their usage. Chance being one of those, Ahmad being one of those, Jacob Meyer being one of those, Daniel Rivera being one of those. It's good to see them all put together solid games, and that's how you beat a team the quality of High Point by. It ended up being 17. And I just saw happy faces in the locker room, which we need, These guys, man, they put a lot of pressure. As a coach, it's always a fine line. You want to hold them accountable. You want to make sure that you do not give in to the standard that is necessary in order to not only to represent the green and gold, but to win games, guys. When you do that so much, and we hadn't had a lot of success, you could see some apprehension. So it was good to see smiling faces and exhale, so to speak. Got a quick turn on Monday. Another big 2-game homestand before we go on the road for the next 4. So we obviously have stubbed our toe. We can't do that again.
How big was the role or the job that Q did in the first
Great.
half with Wester's staff?
Great. And I was going to play him in the second half. He started cramping up. Can you imagine that? He did great. I'd sensed it. It was kind of a gut feel. I'd sensed it. We put him on the scout team. And so, because a lot of times when you're practicing, you're trying to be concise as you're preparing for a game, and some of the guys don't get as many reps. So we put a lot of those guys on the scout team so they can get reps. And yesterday, I told him when he went out there, man, act like you're playing for High Point because you played maybe as good as you played. He knows their stuff better. And so he came in with some confidence. And I like Q because he plays with assertion, I thought he really got downhill. Think about this. He plays 18 minutes and gets the free throw line 8 times because he was playing through. That was a big goal for us. Let's play through, play with a sense of awareness, play with force, do everything with authority. Q exemplified that tonight.
I'm not sure if the NIL differences, but do games like this against High Point prepare you for conference play?
Yeah, definitely. They're a very respectable team. They came in, as I think in 81 in the net. Now it's early, I get it. I mean, really the net's not going to really fluctuate a lot, but it was good for us because we actually were an underdog just based on our last performance. Those numbers move just based on how you play it. I get it. For us, it's way too early to figure that out, but I do think that's the type of opponent that you're going to see game in and game out in the American. Yeah, I told myself I was just going to go with the flow, man. I was just going to be a lot calmer. How'd you like it? I'm like Mike Tyson, man. I've got a plan until I get hit, and then I just revert back to habits. I'm trying not to be too much, but at the same time, enough. This group needs guidance, and right now I've got to hold the reins until somebody takes over. Tonight was a step in the right direction. At least I can scoot over a little bit. Go ahead.
What did you guys do real quick in the second half on 3? We had 17 in the first half. And
just tried to square the ball up and stay in front of him, and I thought we were getting good help late, meaning those bigs, when you've got a point guard playing in the middle third of the floor, it's easy when the ball drives from the side. The rotations are easy because everybody can kind of see what they're supposed to do. But when it comes from that middle third, a lot of times when it's a smaller guard, they don't even see it till the end. I thought Ahmad was doing a good job of not giving him straight lines like we were doing in the first half. Then I thought our bigs were really coming over and making him play through bodies. Thank you.
first half for you?
First half, sitting, not fun. But I supported my team, doing what my team needed. Helped Q. Q played a big game, filling there for me. Just being coachable and listening and seeing a mistake. So when I get my chance out there, second half, just fix the errors.
You have a lot of time to sort of think what you need to do in the second half and, kind of think your way through it and think, what you need to bring in the second half.
Correct. What did we need to bring?
Do you have a lot of time to sort of, does that go through your mind a lot? Like, okay, what do I need to do once I get back out?
Yeah, it does. We have 20 minutes, so I got to make the best out of the 20 minutes within that time frame. And just executing, that was the biggest thing. Playing gap defense, helping one another, and rebounding, team rebounding was big. And also scoring off their turnovers. We had 21 points off their turnovers, so I felt like that was a big key.
You've seen what you can do offensively, this back-to-back 20-point games, but what is AK specifically telling you on the sideline, maybe defensively, to help you improve and have you reach that full potential as a two-way player?
I'm working on reaching that full potential as a two-way player. He tells me just to be alert, be on edge, pay attention, because I can be off the ball just looking, and my guy could go back door. So just being on edge and playing with that force, you know, who's setting the edge defensively, being lower than the other offensive guard, and just having the advantage.
Yeah, do you feel like, obviously you're a leader of the stats. Do you feel like you've been able to develop as a leader on the team and contribute in that way?
Yes, definitely. Obviously, I mean, leader on the stats, but I want to be a leader on the team. I want to help each other out, everyone out. You know, it's a new team. Obviously, it's new players, so sometimes it can be uncomfortable because we all don't know each other. So, I mean, we're gelling, getting to understand one another. I mean, we've been through hard times. Well, we lost to Alabama State, so that was a rough one. So we just had to get back in the gym, gel together, and listen.
What were the conversations like after that loss leading up to that?
We just bounced back. It was no conversation. It was just the next day at practice. Obviously, High Point's a great team. They were 3-0 coming in here. So, obviously, we lost, kept that in the past, move on to the next one. So, it was on how can we get better? How can we execute? How can we fix our mistakes from the Alabama State game?
When you look at your box score, your line in the box score game, you kind of filled it out, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, steal, 1 turnover in 20 minutes. How important is that for you to think, to kind of have those type of games where you're not just scoring and you're doing, you're doing everything?
I didn't even know I had 6 assists thing. Just being able to play, make the right reads, just out there playing. If they bring 2, kick it to the corner. I trust Jacob. I trust Ahmad. I trust him with the 3-point shot. I see him every day putting in the work. So obviously just making the right read. And if they don't take them, I can go to the lane and just playing off a feel. I mean, AK preaches spacing every day and shot making, being ready. So just being ready.
There was a nice moment at the end of the game when the time was running down, you just had your hands up, and I could see you kind of just exhale, and AK said it too, as you went into the locker room, you could see this whole team kind of exhale a little bit. How does that help you guys moving forward to Monday?
I mean, it helps us a lot, We're in Birmingham. We're all new here. So just embracing the city, I mean, trying to get everybody together, Obviously, with the losses, I mean, everybody just, will want to go their own way, but just making sure everyone's together, that's a big deal to me. Obviously, UAB has a winning history, so we're all new. We're trying to just bring it up and just be together.
How important was it tonight at the end of the game, toward the end of the game, to finish it? Not just sort of have to hang on. I mean, y'all are still playing aggressive, and you're going to the back. You got your dunk late. Just sort of, how important is that to finish games like that instead of just hanging on?
Finish, no better feeling. I mean, we practice hard against each other, bone on bone, so we go at each other. So why can't we finish the other team? So it felt great. Like she said, that just exhale was just like, whoa, like, like on to the next one. Great win tonight, so obviously we're going to get ready for Monday. Back at it. It doesn't stop. Obviously, it's a good time to get a good victory, but we want more.
You're able to, you have fans from Syracuse, Auburn, who keep up with you. Are you able to, do you block that out when you see all this support coming online, or what does that mean to you?
I embrace it, I didn't play in 3 years, So obviously them supporting me means a lot, because it was always, is Chance Westry alive? Is Chance Westry a player? Like, they didn't even think I existed. So obviously just if they show support, I love it and I'm going to embrace it. But I'm here now. I'm in Birmingham. I'm a Blazer. So obviously that's in the past. I'm embracing this right now.